Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin Jon's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Wednesday, January 16th, 2019. Before I start today's episode of Jammin Jon's Wrestling News off, I'd like to make an announcement. This is a long and personal announcement that I feel all of you need to hear. You've probably been noticing that for this week, I haven't been uploading the Wrestling News episodes at the right times and dates that they're supposed to be uploaded on. And the reason as to why that's been happening is because this past Sunday morning at around 4 a.m. I noticed that on the upper left side of my mouth that the gum around my wisdom tooth felt swollen. And so I was like, that feels kind of weird compared to the right side because it didn't feel swollen on my right side. And so my mom was already awake at that time. She used to be a dental assistant for many years, and she checked that tooth along with that gum, and she noticed that the left side of my face felt barely swollen, and she said that it could be a dental abscess, but she didn't know for sure, and she encouraged me to go to the dentist and get it checked out. So I was going to go to the dentist on Monday, be a walk-in. Come to find out my dentist doesn't do walk-ins anymore. So you have to make an appointment. She scheduled me for Tuesday at 9 a.m. I got a text message the next day around 5 or 6 a.m. saying that she was going to be out of town on Tuesday and that I needed to come in 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday. So I went in 1:30 p.m. and stayed in the waiting room for an hour, went back to the chair, got the bib on, and told my dentist that the upper left wisdom tooth on my jaw had some pain in it and that the gum felt swollen around it. So she done an x-ray on that wisdom tooth and come to find out it is a dental abscess, and she told me that it is the beginning stages of an abscess and that it's a good idea that I came in that day because we caught the abscess at the right time, because it's just starting. She told me that I needed to continue to take the antibiotics because I've been taking antibiotics ever since Sunday morning. So she told me to continue that. And she told me that what I needed to do next was to get a hold of my oral surgeon and schedule a date to get my wisdom teeth taken out. Because for those of you who don't know what a dental abscess is, a dental abscess is a pocket of pus that can form on your gums, or it can form on the inside of your tooth on the root. They're both very painful, and they're both very gross to have, especially if you have it on your gum, because the pus can leak into your mouth and it can be all nasty. They're both really horrible to have, but having it on your root is really, really serious, and that's where I have my abscess at. If left untreated, the abscess that's on a root of a tooth can spread into your bloodstream, and it can cause sepsis, which is a life-threatening illness that can kill you, or it can spread to your brain and cause a brain abscess and kill you. And that's only from what I've heard and read if it's left untreated. Luckily, though, I am being treated for this. I've been taking antibiotics, like I said, and I'm going to be scheduling a appointment to get my wisdom teeth removed from my oral surgeon. I'm really hoping that I don't have to have another consultation. I've been meaning to get these wisdom teeth taken out for over a decade, ever since I was 15, but I've always chickened out of the surgery. And, if you've been following Jammin Jon's Wrestling News ever since last summer, you know that last summer I said I was going to go to Winchester, Kentucky and get these wisdom teeth taken out. Well, sadly, the reason why that didn't happen was because I had some family drama involving transportation. So that's the reason why it never happened. But now they need to for sure get taken out, because my dentist told me that if they don't get taken out as soon as possible, that it could transpire into something worse. We don't want to wait around for that. So I would rather live than to keep these wisdom teeth in my mouth. So as of right now, I'm recording this episode Thursday morning at 7:04 a.m., which is the latest that I've ever recorded an episode for JJWN. And the reason why I've been putting off recording and uploading late and stuff is because I just really don't have the energy to do it. I've been feeling real tired and stuff because of these antibiotics, and I've just been feeling, a little bit nauseous here and there, but really just tired and feel like I don't really got a lot of energy and been having cold chills and stuff. So that's the reason why the episodes have been getting uploaded late, is because where I've been taking these antibiotics to stop the infection of the abscess. Antibiotics will shrink in the abscess, but it won't completely get rid of it. You have to have the tooth removed where the abscess is forming at. So luckily, this is just beginning. It's really, really small, and it's on a wisdom tooth, which needs to come out anyway, so thank God for that. I just really hope that I don't have to have a consultation again. Hopefully they can just take me back there and have the teeth taken out. I gotta have not only my 4 wisdom teeth taken out, but one of my permanent teeth too. So 5 teeth taken out in one day, which seems really exciting. So I'm gonna call them here later on this morning and try my best to get an appointment started to where I can get them out. And if they tell me, oh, well, you need another consultation, I'm going to tell them, look, I'm having the beginnings of an abscess tooth. I need this taken out ASAP because my dentist said this. And hopefully they'll understand that. I really hope they do, because here in the United States, you have some dentists and doctors that do a really good job and are compassionate, and then you have some that are corrupt and only are in it for the money. And so I really hope that this oral surgeon is number 1 and not number 2. So that's the reason why the uploads have been on so late, is because I have the beginnings of a abscess tooth. It's kind of worrisome. I am really worried. I'm not going to lie to you, because that can set up sepsis and a brain abscess. But it's a good thing, like my dentist said, this is the perfect time. You came in at the right time because it's just beginning. So it's not really all that worrisome, because I've also been taking antibiotics for it. But we need to get those teeth taken out, and that's what I'm going to try my best to do. So if you would, keep me in your thoughts, in your prayers, and give me good vibes, I would really appreciate it. And man, I just really cannot wait to get these teeth taken out so that I can be back to feeling 100% again. During the time that I was up, all night because of the antibiotics and the occasional little naps here and there, I heard on Discord, on the wrestling Discord, which, by the way, if you got Discord and you like pro wrestling, you should definitely join the wrestling Discord. It's a great place to conversate wrestling with a lot of great people. I'm a moderator there too, so that's always a plus. But I heard this story on the wrestling Discord that WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle went to Facebook and he shared an article on his 16-year-old niece named Marjani Aquil. And Marjani Aquil was abducted by her ex-boyfriend. Angle wrote, "Please continue sharing. Thank you for all your support. Uncle Kurt loves you. Meanie, come back home to us safely. Please, let's find my niece." Now, police in Penn Hills, Pennsylvania believe Aquil was abducted by her ex-boyfriend on Wednesday night. 19-year-old Jermaine LaQuay Rogers allegedly broke into Aquil's home, assaulted her, and forced her into a red sedan. This would be the second time he has abducted her in the last year, as Rogers was arrested last March for a January 2018 incident where he held Aquil against her will in an apartment for 4 days. Aquil alleged that Rogers physically prevented her from communicating with family and friends and physically assaulted her during those 4 days. He had been out of jail on probation due to the previous incident. Now, reading up about this, I actually found an update this morning, right when I was getting ready to record the wrestling news, and the update is really good news. Police found a suspect in the abduction of a 16-year-old girl from Penn Hills, hiding in the coal cellar of a home in McKeesport early Thursday morning. Now, I'm reading this, by the way, on Pittsburgh's Action 4 News website. Jermaine Rogers, 19, was accused of abducting the girl Marjani Aquil, 16, after forcing his way into a home on Glenbrook Drive in Penn Hills just before 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday. An Amber Alert was later issued for the teen. Late Wednesday night, police learned Rogers may be at a home on 28th Street in McKeesport. Upon arrival, they saw Aquil in the living room and were able to pull her to safety. However, police say Rogers barricaded himself in the house, leading to a SWAT situation and a search throughout the home. He was hidden in a coal cellar, said Inspector Christopher Curran of Allegheny County Police. A member of the SWAT team had to go and physically find him in the coal cellar. Rogers was taken into custody. Also discovered in the home was a person described by Kearns as a missing female from Munhall. Kearns could not say when that person was reported missing, but he did say McKeesport police were looking into whether charges should be filed against any of the other people in the home. So, she's okay. Thank God she's alright. It's a very, very scary thing to experience and hear about. I don't know what's wrong with some young people. I really don't. I don't know why, they want to go and do stuff like this. I don't know what it takes for a male to go and beat on a female and do stuff like that. Seems to me they're not really a man if you lay your hands on a woman. So, thank God she's okay and she's doing alright. And thank God that this idiot is finally in custody. In an interview with SCScoops.com, Cody Rhodes talked about plans for the creative process with All Elite Wrestling by saying, "There's plenty of young, fresh, independent talent out there that probably can use guidance and things of that nature. But there's also plenty of folks on board already that I wouldn't dare try to tell them how to play their own music. If I'm licensing you and I'm paying you, then I already know what you can do. These are your songs and I want you to go out there and play them. Obviously there's a side that this is a collaborative effort and we do need to have an end goal. That used to always be a thing in wrestling. What is the finish? I don't mean the match, I mean the finish to the angle, the finish to the quarter or the year. What is our goal?" Cody continued on by saying, "When you have like-minded super professionals like Matt and Nick, like Hangman Page, when you have like-minded super professionals, it's fun to see how everyone works for that common goal. Again, the wrestling I grew up on, we're talking bullet points. We're talking an overall knowledge of the business. And hey, let them go out and play. Take a look back on the wrestling you and I love. For the most part, they're all grown men and women doing what they were hired to do. They've cut their teeth, they've paid their dues, and now they're going to go out there and play their music. I would very much like a presentation that mirrors that. We don't need to micromanage, and we certainly don't need to script a great deal of the product we're planning." Cody continued on by saying, "This is probably going to be an unpopular thing to say, but I will say it. There won't be a writer hired for All Elite Wrestling anytime soon, because wrestlers are the writers. We're the writers. Like I said, with guys going out there and playing their own music, believe me, the day comes that I see this is something we can really benefit from, absolutely. But I knew 40 writers in WWE, and about 4 of them actually did anything. The reason I remember them and value them, they helped produce pre-tapes. They were team players. So right now that's one thing we've gotten a lot of questions about. We're keeping it very in-house for now." And on the topic of All Elite Wrestling, during his recent podcast, Talk is Jericho, Chris Jericho explained why he left WWE for All Elite Wrestling by saying, "It's a little bit hard because I worked for WWE for 19 years. I love the WWE. But I put myself into Chris Jericho's shoes back in 1998, back when I was contemplating leaving WCW and thinking, how much further can I go in WCW under these rules, under these conditions? And I realized I probably can't go much further. So I put myself in those shoes. Could I walk away from WWE and go to All Elite Wrestling, a brand new company that doesn't even own a wrestling ring at this point as far as I know? And after some introspection, the answer was, yes, I could do this. I still kind of gave WWE the benefit of, hey listen guys, the train is leaving the station, are we going to work together or not? And to their credit, we talked and all the way up a few days before the rally, but there was never really an offer given." Chris Jericho continued on by saying, "The card is on my back and I have to do great work, and I have to go the extra mile to help make this work. In WWE, it doesn't matter what I do. It's still going to be WWE. In AEW, it does matter what I do. And I have to be my best, and I have to really use my 30 years or my 29 years of experience to help build this company. And that was exciting for me." Thanks to AdventuresInPoorTaste.com for the transcription. And also, another thing on AEW, members of the Elite posted a cryptic message on Twitter which read as follows. Cody Rhodes tweeted "See ya," Hangman Page tweeted "In," and both Nick and Matt Jackson tweeted "Los Angeles." Put it all together. See ya in Los Angeles. Could it be that AEW might be teaming up with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla? You never do know. It's possible. Brian Alvarez of F4WOnline.com commented on the story that the Revival could be leaving WWE soon by saying, "The only thing I can tell you about the Revival right now is I don't know if they asked for a release from WWE, but I do know that they have been asking about doing more matches down in NXT. I don't know if that would mean going full-time back to NXT. Obviously, there are a lot of great tag teams in NXT. People love working house shows and people love working NXT shows. There are a lot of people, I'm not saying it's the Revival, but they have more fun in NXT. Obviously, you can tell by watching the main roster, but it could have just been that they asked to do more NXT TV shows, or they did ask for their full release. Maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't. I don't know." Thanks to RingsideNews.com for the quotes. Regarding Finn Balor scoring a clean pinfall on John Cena from Monday's WWE Raw, Justin Barazio of SportsIllustrated.com noted the following. Justin Barazio said, "Although the timing is suspicious, sources close to WWE stated there was no connection between Cena taking the loss and his recent decision to withdraw from the controversial Crown Jewel show in Saudi Arabia this past November. In fact, I was told Cena offered to take the fall in an effort to make Balor an even bigger star." Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com noted that Cena's purpose at the point is to help put over other talent. It all started when Colin McDonald tweeted to Dave Meltzer, "Question for Dave, should we read into Balor's clean pin over Cena?" To which Dave Meltzer replied back, "Yeah, John's role is to put people over and Balor is getting the next title shot." And finally, here on Jammin Jon's Wrestling News, ProWrestlingSheet.com is reporting that Mike and Maria Kanellis have recently requested to be released from WWE. Mike has started selling new merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com. While it's unknown if WWE will grant them releases, it's possible that WWE will have the couple sit out their contracts until they expire. Maria recently vented about her husband's position with the company on Twitter by retweeting a photo of Mike Kanellis doing the 2009-2019 challenge and writing, "So why is this guy not on TV? SMH." And replying back to a fan, William Skinner, who said, "Maybe because being ripped doesn't make you a better wrestler," to which Maria Kanellis said, "No, but accolades, respect, titles, experience, and working in every bingo hall and arena in the country do, but I digress." That is your news for Wednesday, January 16th, 2019. Check back here a little bit later on today for hopefully another Jammin Jon's Wrestling News Flash briefing if I feel a little bit better. If not, well, check back on Friday on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin Jon. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin Jon's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, wanting to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/JamminJon. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/JamminJon. This is Jammin Jon saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.